All right, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone to the 22.3 release overview of the Reltio Connected Data Platform. My name is Terry Block, Director of Product Operations here at Reltio, and I'm joined today by my two esteemed colleagues and Senior Directors of Product Management, Ayan Basu and Shashant Rai, who will be taking us through the new features. We also have our product team with us today, ready to answer any questions that you might have during the session. Next slide. Before we begin, please know that this session is being recorded and will be available out on our community site later this week. All attendees are in listen-only mode, but we do want to hear your questions, so please use the Q&A panel at the bottom of your Zoom window to ask any questions that you might have. As mentioned, our product managers are online and available to answer any questions throughout the overview. Next slide. In accordance with Safe Harbor, please know that this presentation is intended for informational purposes only and is not a commitment to deliver any functionality, and should not be incorporated in a contract or purchasing decision. Next slide. Here at Reltio, we subscribe to disruption-free releases. We have 3 major releases a year in February, June, and October, as well as weekly releases to deploy urgent updates and critical bugs. Our 22.3 release is our 3rd major release of the year. This release will be available in your preview environment starting today, September 21st, and then generally available on October 12th. And with that, I'd like to hand it over to Shashant, who will kick us off with the overview.
Thank you, Terry. Welcome, everyone. We're very excited to present the last release of the year. We have some exciting new capabilities coming to the Reltio platform, which we would like to share with you. All right. Before we get into individual features and capabilities, I'd like to do a quick recap of the Reltio Connected Data Platform for many of our colleagues and attendees joining us for the first time. Reltio, as you know, is built on a modern cloud-native data foundation where Reltio as a stack is available on AWS, GCP, and now Azure as well, starting last release. We provide a modern cloud-native platform with multi-tenant and highly scalable architecture, includes NoSQL databases for flexible and scalable data storage, graph databases for linking anything to anything, and advanced search and query capabilities for fast insights and action. Security is a first-class citizen to handle sensitive data securely. We comply with all the industry or geographical certifications or compliance or regulatory requirements. We offer out-of-the-box multi-domain profiles with inheritance structure to create vertical-specific or customer-specific data models. So you get a party or person, organization, product, location, entity types out of the box, which you can inherit and create any, virtually any domain that you want to. On top of that, we already have industry-specific accelerators or data domains that you can use to deploy to achieve faster time to value. Single source of truth data management capabilities using entity resolution or best-in-class matching engine, having data quality to tell you the insights about overall quality of the data, the fill rates and things like that, dynamic survivorship and progressive stitching to, build a profile over time from multiple sources, a unique ID that can be persisted now across the systems, and finally, real-time integration for operational analytical usage scenarios or personal specific user experience, right? Reltio offers a variety of options to feed unified trusted data to operational systems to support real-time business processes, right? As well as advanced analytic capabilities and data science and ML platforms. So the boxes that you see highlighted here, these are some of the areas that we have invested in this release. And now let's jump right into the details of what I'm talking about here. So, sorry. Okay. So what are the release highlights, right? At a very high level, you remember we did announcement and released our Reltio interactive continuous real-time monitoring data quality dashboard last release, and we are bringing new historical data quality trend capabilities in there, as well as real-time visibility to the quality of reference data that you have. And for each of these highlights, we'll go into details, right? Releasing in early access, we have a new Reltio ID concept, where customers can deploy a unique universal and durable profile ID across the entire enterprise, not just Reltio, all tenants of Reltio, but across enterprise, and we'll talk more about it in details. UX enhancements continue to roll in. Big update to potential match review UI, with several UX enhancement as well as bulk matching capabilities. A new capability for data stewards, or where for users who manually create profiles, they will be able to manually clone a profile to quickly create another one. We've done claims enhancements on improved engine for CAS, as well as improved data set for address enrichment from Census Plus. And in terms of integration or real-time consumptions, Data Rotor has gone through enhancements for validation job validation improvements, as well as we're introducing self-service capability to model your survivorship strategies via data modeler itself. So there's no need to go to L3 or JSON file to create your survivorship strategies. You can do it from console data modeler itself. With that, let's jump into the details. The first one, something we are very excited about and we're investing heavily, is in data quality, right? So are you making, we are constantly have this conversation with all our customers, right? That are you making data-driven business decisions? And if the answer is yes, you need to be confident that these decisions are based on high quality, trusted data, right? Reltio is now offering new and innovative approach to data quality management. Our comprehensive data quality offers continuous and automated monitoring with real-time visibility in one place, So as part of this release, I'll probably take a step back, right? In the previous release, you saw that we released a dashboard that continues, our engine continuously monitors data, quality of the data in real time, and you get an interactive dashboard where both at an entity type level as well as an attribute level, you can see various metrics, right? How many attributes, data types of those attributes, what are the fill rates, frequency analysis, things like that, right? We are taking it a step further, right? We are offering with this release new features to enable trend analysis for historical insights and real-time visibility into reference data for critical business processes. So let's go to these one by one. What do I mean by trend analysis or reference data? The data quality dashboard will now include new charts that display historical information at the attribute level for fill rates, uniqueness, and custom validation functions. Users will now have the ability to look across any entity or attribute and view this information in multiple segments of time. So essentially it means, right, so if there were events of data coming into Reltio from our different sources, customers can analyze now, for example, that what data sources caused a dip in the data quality, right? So you can see over time the data quality of the data within Reltio going up or down. And then with this, customers will achieve much more transparent and progress visibility, right? And take decisive actions within Reltio, because all of this data is completely actionable. Any chart that you click on leads you to those profiles themselves, but also can be part of your overall data governance strategy. Here, these data sources, when brought in, and they need to be improved before we bring it to Reltio. So this is a very, an exciting capability that we're bringing in. This one is going to be available as early access. So for the customers who are interested in enabling this in your tenants, please reach out to us via your CSMs, and we'll be happy to enable it and provide us feedback before we make it generally available, right? Which is the plan for next release. For any questions on these, please keep posting your questions on the Q&A box, and me or my team members will answer it immediately. The next improvement that we are adding it to data quality dashboard is, figuring out errors in reference data, right? So as part of this release, we now offer full visibility into reference data quality metrics that allow you to quickly fix errors from the dashboard itself and provide valid reference data across the enterprise, as well as, gives you insights how to prevent bad data from entering system, right? So if you can see, transcoding or result, the lookup codes are not good, you can first fix those through lookup codes and then load the data so that data quality improves on its own. So that is a new chart that you will start seeing within the data quality dashboard And this is available, right? So starting today, it will be available. You'll see it in your dev tenants. Actually, it's already out there, and can start exploring it, right? We did this a couple of weeks ago. All right, moving on to the next big exciting topic that we want to talk about is Reltio ID. So Reltio ID is something that we have spoken before, right? Customers have this need where they want to uniquely identify a profile, a product, an organization, a person uniquely across their enterprise, right? So let's take a step back and say, right, what is Reltio ID? It's a concept that is very similar to our existing entity ID, but enhanced, right? We have improved on it, right? So Reltio ID is an identifier built on the Open UUID standards, which will uniquely identify an object or entity inside of Reltio across the entire platform. It will be unique across all tenants and can be utilized for advanced concepts like data sharing, fed and federated lookups across multiple tenants. And this ID will also provide hyper-performance access to the entity it identifies. A key aspect of this ID will be it is going to be durable, right? So Reltio ID will be durable over a long term as objects match and merge and unmerged access via the old Reltio IDs will still provide the current version of that object. Okay, so once an ID is generated, it will be durable, right? So that means customers can share data once and always have access to the current view of that person or organization without having to keep track of sync or changes within the platform. So this is going to be available for all customers to use, right? This is going to be available as an early access. So this is the first release of the capability. It's a very strong one. So we want to work with a select set of customers who are interested in this, having a unique ID generated and tagged across the enterprise. So if you're interested in this capability, please reach out to us via our CSMs, and we'll work with you to enable it in your tenants so that you can explore it and give us feedback before we make it generally available, which is the plan for next release. Right, moving on. User experience. Again, exciting changes coming in here, specifically around potential match review, UX enhancements, that we have done. This one we would like to do a quick demo rather than talking about only on the slide. So let me jump onto the demo, and I'll share with you some of the enhancements that we have done in past few sprints or even the last release, as well as what is coming out in the next release, right? So a quick live demo would be probably better to look at the UX enhancements. Okay, so we are live here. So this is a potential match review screen, right? When you get into a profile, it automatically presents you based on your match rules, 3 separate profiles that are potential matches, right? One enhancement in the new UI is now that in a column view, now you can have 4 profiles that can be compared to the profile you are in and identify matches. The attributes are presented as rows, and these attributes can be selected or unselected at any point, and then you can decide which profiles are more important to you, right? These profiles you can drag up, and attributes can be dragged up and down to have the most relevant ones first. For example, maybe email address is more relevant to you, or entity ID, you can just move it. So data stewards have control of what attributes they need and in what order do they need, right? Finding matches is becoming very strong. We have implemented a filter, which is just like our advanced search filter, where you can have multiple conditions and with and or conditions and multiple search criteria to look at the profiles. Same with sorting. Now, at any point of time where you want to compare more than 4 profiles, you have an option to switch to our table view, right? You can do it directly from toggle between column and table view, but you can also, system will automatically prompt you if you choose more than 4 profiles. Now, in this view, all the profiles are in the row and all the attributes are in the column, right? So again, you can move around columns, you can adjust the width of the columns. You can even select which columns are relevant to you in what order. And the system is supposed to, remember those preferences for you so that you don't have to do it over again. So it is saved at a user level. So that is another powerful capability where a lot of customers say, hey, I compare more than 3 or 4 profiles at a time, and which means that we need a more tabular Excel kind of a view where we can work directly on multiple profiles, right? And all the actions are available still at individual level as well as bulk level. So you might have 20 profiles in here, and you can just do not a match on them, rather doing it one by one, but individual actions are available on individual profiles as well, right? If there are certain names, they certain rules which have highlighted a particular attribute because of this potential matches suggested, that those will be color coded and highlighted as well. So these are some of the enhancements that we have released over the time, and this the new table view is the thing that is coming out. Please go ahead and try it on your preview environments or your dev tenants today. In a few hours, the release will be applied. Okay. Moving on. This is a new capability that we are offering on our UI, that cloning of source profiles. Many a times customers have given us feedback that the differences between two profiles is not that much, right? So rather than creating a new profile right from the scratch and going through multiple steps to add 50 attributes, what if there's only 5% difference or between profile A and profile B? What is the fastest way to create a new profile? So with this new capability, customers with the right role can simply create a profile, right? And then all the attributes would be copied to the new profile, and key set of attributes can then be modified, or there are rules that you can set up in UI configuration to say which profiles, which attributes need not be copied, whether you want to copy all the relationships or not. While copying, if you want to make a certain attribute null, for example, mandatory fields or something like that, or you want to append something to a particular attribute. So for example, a description, you want to append copy of the original profile name, all those things can be configured simply in the UI configuration. This is completely permission-driven access. If a user has access to create or edit profiles, only then users will be able to clone profile as well. So that's the thing. But I would like to show you a quick demo of this capability as well. So we are in this profile. Sorry, give me 1 second. Oops. All right, sorry, something wrong with the demo today, but essentially that's what I was going to talk about. That's how the capability would work, where you simply click on clone and we create a new profile, right? I'll probably try to pull it up, and then if time permits, we'll get back to this one. All right, with that, I'd like to hand it over to my colleague, Ian, to talk about, address cleanse and our integration related topics. Over to Ian.
All right, thank you, Sushant. I'm going to do a quick screen share here and continue on. All right, so a few enhancements coming up in this release for address cleanse, starting with our improved certification process with our CAS engine. So this just means that it's verifying all the addresses by the United States Postal Service and certifying the deliverability of those addresses. So an improvement in the verification and accuracy of it. So what we're doing is upgrading this CAS engine to the next generation to provide some key enhancements. So the first one is improved address cleansing and verification, improved accuracy, and then also an improvement in match rates and performance as well. So you will get fewer unverified results. So your overall deliverability of those addresses in your system will increase as a result of this upgrade. So this will be available on October 12th. Then the next update with address cleansing is additional enrichment fields. So we have the latest US Census data available now as part of this update. So this is 2020 US Census data. And then with this latest update, we also have additional data fields from the US Census, things like census or block code, track code, and other granular details that can help with additional analytics of these addresses. And also you can run some improved targeting and user segmentation based on this additional data. So it just opens up some new opportunities to do further analysis with these available fields. And all of these will be automatically added to the cleansing and the additional enrichment that happens with the cleanse process with the new census fields. Then next up, under the real-time integration bucket, we have a few enhancements with the data loader. So we're improving our data validation aspects of it. So the main goal here is to just improve the user experience and the overall efficiency of how the data loader process works. And so one of the improvements is, let's say you did a full update with the data and you didn't map all of your required attributes, you would get a warning message like you see in the screenshot asking you to confirm that, are you sure you want to do full update? Perhaps you want to do a partial update where not every single attribute needs to be mapped. So it's providing you some proactive alerts and warnings just to make sure you don't end up going through the entire data loader process and having to repeat it and waste valuable time doing it. So as a way to make this process more efficient, we have additional error messages, warnings that we're adding. And then also we're doing some proactive analysis on the data that's being loaded. So if there's additional errors or errors that go beyond a certain threshold in your source data that you're loading, it would be stopped automatically, and you would get that notification alerting you of that of potential data quality problems with your source data, so you can take action on it right away, as opposed to having to wait through the entire process and then go back and redo the data loader job. And so those are a couple of the enhancements that we're rolling out as part of this release. Then on the self-service aspect, we are excited to announce our new update on the survivorship strategy that's going to be available through the data modeler through console. And a couple of updates here is the ability to define your primary and fallback strategy through the data modeler, as well as new filters to define complex strategies, and then making sure that these strategies are the ability to modify and define these strategies are only available to specific sets of users. So giving you more control over that, and just more generally giving you self-service options to be able to do these things with survivorship. And I have a demo here that I can walk you through here real quick. So in this demo, you can see if you go into the data modeler, you now have the ability to define your survivorship rules. So in this example, we'll be creating a new rule for the marketing department. And once you put in the name and description, you can define the roles that you want this to apply to. So users that have specific roles that can actually go in and define these survivorship rules. You have the option of the default setting, which you can use a checkbox for. And then for the attributes that you want to define and provide your survivorship rules towards, you can go through each individual attribute and select the kind of strategy that you want to select. So you can see the drop down, selecting aggregation for first name, last name for attribute crosswalk winner. This is just making sure that whatever the crosswalk winner is for first name is now also applied to last name as well. Then for middle name, you can choose source system, for example, and then within the source system menu, you can drag and drop an order of priority of which of the sources needs to be prioritized. And then hidden name can stay as recency. So these are just an example of how you can define these survivorship rules within Data Modeler. Now, after this portion, we will be showing you the fallback and filtering and how you can do that through the UI. So you'll see the fallback and filter, the ability to define multiple fallback and filter rules for each one. And then on the three dots on the side, you can select which ones you want to add, whether it's fallback or filter. For fallback, you can create a new strategy here. And for anything that you're not able to resolve to unique operational value, if it's more than 1 or 0, you can go in and select the type of rule that you want to apply, and then have a cascading set of rules that can be applicable to anything that's not resolving to a unique OV. And then the next piece here would be showcasing how the filtering works to define further complex strategies on your survivorship. So in this case, with state, for instance, if you filter to New York or New Jersey, have that set to oldest value, and then add additional filters if you would like to further define your strategies for survivorship. So that's essentially what I wanted to showcase for the survivorship piece for self-service. What I'll do is end it on the documentation portal update here. So we are rolling out a brand new documentation portal with all new user experience. It's much easier to navigate than what we have today. And it's based on it's a taxonomy based structure. So it's just much easier to look for certain things that you're interested in. And the UI is much more intuitive, and the content is also being upgraded to be much more human readable. So a huge focus on the user friendliness aspect of documentation and consumption of it. And then also this new portal will be 100% public, so no login will be required. And then because we're making some enhancements behind the scenes, we will be able to publish these updates quicker than we have been in the past. So this whole documentation portal has been redesigned from ground up and being completely revamped end to end. So we're looking forward to rolling this out to you to provide you with a much better experience. So that wraps up all the roadmap content. I'll hand it over to Terry to walk us through the rest of that.
Terry, if you don't mind, I'd like to show the demo that I promised everyone, and then based on some issues that I have on my computer. So let's quickly get back to it, and I'll just take 1 more minute. So if you could just confirm and you can see my screen.
Yeah, you're good.
Right. So yeah, talking about cloning, right? So as I said, right now we have a capability which is available on all tenants, where based on certain permissions, users will be able to clone a certain profile. So you can see a Steve Smith, an individual or a personal profile in here, right where the menu of, you already see a familiar menu of viewing, clone, editing. You can just click on cloning, and at this point, after the confirmation, Reltio automatically creates a new profile and copies all the attributes. So if you see the profile has been copied successfully, you can choose to undo the process or start it again, cancel or save. A few things to note here, right? If you see the first name at the attribute first name, it says copy of Steve. Copy a copy of is a text that you can add in the UI configuration. You can choose something else. It's just that to make a differentiation between the original profile and this one, right? So if you want, you can change the first name. Completely configurable in this way. The other parts are, for example, there is a mandatory field that age, and this is something that you don't want to copy, right? And this could be any attribute. So you can define this attribute within your UI configuration that make it as null. That is also possible. So remove the value that was there in the attribute, and it will nullify the value, and then the user will have to add this value on the new profile. So completely configurable in that way as well. Same for relationships. You can choose whether you want to copy which relationship types, all relationship types or no relationship types, and it will copy all those as well. And with a simple save, very few steps, a new profile gets created. So for scenarios where the differences between two profiles are not much, this is going to be very powerful feature, right? The new data is created with a Reltio crosswalk within, and you can just start stewarding the data or take further actions on it. All right, so that was a quick demo. Sorry about the goof up earlier. We want to talk about, right? So now it's all the, these are the capabilities that we wanted to share today, which are coming out in 22.3. And at this point, Terry, I would hand over back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for all that excitement for this release. Good to see these new features coming out. Want to let everyone know that you can continue to learn more about the release, as well as just the Reltio Connected Data Platform itself over on our community site. There's some great upcoming webinars to check out and events. In addition, as I mentioned, the recording of this session will also be posted out there on community as well. So please visit our community site to continue the education on the product. So, and also to connect with other community members. So go ahead to the next slide. I'd just like to say thank you all to everyone. If the product managers can make sure to stay on and answer any of the open questions, we will answer those now and make sure that those are done before we leave. But for everyone, thank you very much. Appreciate your time and have a great rest of your day.